Aren't y'all tired of these clout-chasing, no chemistry having, over-the-hill gatekeeping radio podcast hosts who just provide no culturally concise commentary? We actually got something for that.
This is Touchdowns and Tangents, your weekly spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and context for the culture. So tune in, because you never know if you're going to get a take, a tangent, but either way, it's a touchdown.
What's up, good people? Special edition Touchdowns and Tangents, live from Hawthorne, California. I'm PD Camarillo.
Am I?
It's your Thursday night spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, getting a quick pre-record in. Short news week, so should be a pretty quick show. Nikki's at work, so she won't be joining us today. But shout out to her.
And getting married in 16 days.
That's crazy.
So salute to her.
But yeah, man, first things first.
Let's talk about it.
RIP Vontae Davis, corner for the Indianapolis Colts, died
Miami
this
Dolphins
week,
too.
allegedly of after being in the sauna. Brother of Vernon Davis,
Who was the highest drafted tight end of all time. I think they both ran like 4.3 40s. But Vontae went to Illinois, if I'm not mistaken, and he balled out. Was the 21st overall pick to the Dolphins. I think he had like 2 Pro Bowl seasons. Really good player.
infamously retired at halftime from the
Bills.
Bills.
That shit's funny to this day. That story is hilarious.
My high school teammate Josh Mitchell played with him in Indianapolis. Talked about how friendly he was, how he showed an undrafted rookie love. But yeah, man. Anything else you want to say about Vontae Davis?
The other night, I was going through like Madden 2009, and we literally were going through all the names of people in that game who are dead now, and it's kind of like trippy to think about.
Real trippy.
At least 30 people who are dead now.
Yeah, it's a good amount. There's probably on average like at least one or two players per team, and there were some teams that had like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, that's surreal because it's like we grew up on those games, and a lot of those guys are gone. They're not here.
But yeah, man, Davis was only 35, so he's really only a few years older than us. Just gone.
Yep, prayers up to his family.
All right, other news of the week. Big news. The Buffalo Bills finally shed Stefan Diggs. They trade him to the Texans in one of the biggest trades of the offseason. The Texans are now one of the only teams to add a 1,000-yard receiver, rusher, and pass rusher with 10-plus sacks in one offseason.
Danielle Hunter.
And, oh, yeah, they were already a playoff team last year.
And won the AFC.
And they're
South.
young, and so their players are probably going to take a jump anyways. So, yeah, he's looking up in Houston.
Better than ever, honestly. They figure out their quarterback situation. That's crazy.
Better than even when they had Deshaun?
Yeah, this team is better. This team is much better than when they had Deshaun.
The Matt Schaub teams?
Those Matt Schaub teams were trash.
Did they make it to a divisional round a couple times?
Under Kubiak? Yeah, I think like one time. But Arian Foster and, Andre Johnson were like the driving force behind those teams. And
I never said they weren't. I was just referring to Matt Schaub because he was a quarterback.
No, I'm not giving Matt Schaub any credit.
I mean, he deserves some credit. He was a fucking quarterback.
Does he deserve credit?
Yeah, he does because they got him out the mud.
He threw costly interceptions.
I mean, yeah, I'm not exactly.
Remember when he had 3 pick sixes in a row?
Exactly.
Didn't he play for the Raiders?
Exactly why it's important to point out that he was on that team because That's also why they only went so far.
Which is crazy because he was a backup on the Falcons and then went to the Texans.
Because if you just say,
Became a
"Oh, the
star.
Andre Johnson and Arian Foster teams," like then you're just like the next question is like, "Oh yeah, why didn't they win anything?" And then you go back to, "Oh shit, yeah, Matt Schaub was a quarterback
And defense, yeah.
and he actually had 2 Pro Bowl years with Houston, 2009 and 2012.
He was the Falcons' backup. I think
Before
he was
that.
Vic's backup.
For that,
He was Vic's backup, and then they
he finished
transitioned
his,
to Matt Ryan.
he finished his career with Atlanta. I didn't even realize that. He played until he was 39.
He was a Raider.
He started a game in the COVID year.
Also a Raider.
14 game-winning drives. 11 comebacks.
I mean, I just don't go hard for Matt Schaub. He's pretty average. He's like Derek Carr
I'm not saying he's not.
He was
I'm
nice.
Just saying.
for a couple of years.
I didn't never said he was nice. I never said any of that. I'm just saying.
No, he was nice. Like, I got to give him his
he's
props.
part of that fucking team.
Yeah. There's always something to be desired about that team. Had Kevin Walter, receiver. It's crazy thinking, and you got D'Amico as the head coach, and like some of the best young quarterbacks.
Do you
in the
remember how
league are
bad the
kids.
quarterback situation was in Houston between Matt Schaub and Deshaun Watson? Like when they had
Including
Ryan
Derek Carr?
Mallard and shit?
Brock Osweiler?
Yeah, like that shit was bad, bro.
Case Keenum.
So I don't know why you're just trying to write fucking Matt Schaub out of fucking acknowledgement. That's crazy.
I mean, he wasn't better than Deshaun, and he's not better than CJ.
I mean, he had just as many winning seasons as Deshaun. He literally did.
I mean, yeah, he did, but we know Deshaun was better. Deshaun literally led the league in passing. Like,
Deshaun low-key looking like high-key ass these days.
yeah,
so I
now
don't
he looks
know.
like ass, but I think that's just because, the Browns were just unlucky. Chubb gets hurt.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think
Couple guys get
giving
hurt.
him a plea.
No, I'm not giving him a plea. It's just like, dude couldn't stay healthy because shit just kept happening. And then he didn't play for like a year and a half. He was rusty, and then he looked like shit. So it's like, this year is making or break it. There's no excuse. You got Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper. You got 2 Alabama receivers. Like, you got a Pro Bowl tight end. You got a really good offensive line. You got Chubb, and I think Kareem Hunt is still out there. Like, you got running backs. You got an O-line. Now you actually just have to get better.
Brandon Whedon, Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer is like a federal agent. There's no way he's not a
They
federal
went
agent.
5-4 with Brandon Hoyer in 2015. Brock Osweiler 8-6.
I think Tannehill goes.
Fireman?
Nah, he's going to stick around somewhere. Manders, maybe?
Yes. I don't know if anyone really needs him.
Bears?
Yes.
Yeah, the Raiders?
Hope not.
I mean, would you rather have Minshew or Tannehill? Tannehill was right there on the cusp. Tannehill was right there on the cusp of greatness. It just never happened.
Is death an option?
No. So when you look at
All right, moving on. March Madness is also going on. Got Purdue versus NC State. Fuck Duke. UConn versus Bama. Bama in their first Final Four for men's basketball, which is crazy.
The men's
Is their
team,
football school?
yeah, the men's team is in the Final Four. They didn't leave for Arizona until this morning, like 4 a.m., which is crazy. NCAA is really just dropping the ball when it comes to how the women get treated and get fed. versus how the men get treated and get fed. They literally like left Michigan's basketball team stranded on the tarmac for like 6 hours.
And also in March Madness news, Caitlyn Clark dropped 41 to beat LSU.
93-87.
Angel Reese declared for the draft.
Yep, she did it with a Vogue photo shoot. That was some baller shit. That was dope. Like she had 17 and 20, and for some reason, Mulkey didn't take Haley Van Lith off fucking Caitlyn Clark, who was cooking her soul. Like she cooked her when she was at Louisville, and then she just cooked her again. Like Flower J. Johnson should have just been on Caitlyn Clark all game. I don't think she scores 41 if they do that. But hey, LSU's out, USC's out.
But yeah, so now the women's Final Four is NC State, South Carolina, UConn, Iowa.
Paige Buchers was like the original phenom. Now you got Caitlyn Clark and all these other people. I think Paige Buchers is going to go off.
That's the one that plays for South Carolina?
UConn.
Doesn't South Carolina have someone crazy too?
Yeah, their whole fucking team. Their center, couple guards, they're like 30-0. They're the favorites to win it all. Don Staley is elite level coaching.
NC State being in both Final Fours is crazy. That shit's probably dummy lit.
They're going dummy on that campus.
No one's going to class this whole week.
No one.
0.
Shout out to the journalism students there, probably trying to hold their shit together.
Working hard as fuck for no reason.
Not getting paid. Or not getting paid enough.
All right, man. College football.
That's crazy that Iowa LSU game had 12.3 million fucking viewers. That was literally higher than the NBA Finals. That's crazy. But yeah, so college football. If you haven't seen it already, you can go look at the disgusting elbow that belongs to Jayden Daniels. I don't know if it's like a Goonies character or if he has a bone chip in that shit or like a fatty corpuscle, but his elbow looked disgusting. At LSU's Pro Day, where Malik Neighbors ran a 4.35. Michael Penix Jr. ran a 4.46 at Washington's Pro Day. But then some people say it was between like a 4.51 and a 4.57. Sounds like they kind of just hating because how do you go from a 4.46 to a 4.57? Met with the Raiders. This is also the most overrated time of the year because like all these players meets with all the teams. So when people say, "Oh, such and such met with this team," yeah, that's kind of how the draft process works.
LOL.
Combines and pro days are wrapping up. Cooper DeJean, I think his pro day is this Monday. Or it might already happen. I think, Cooper DeJean's pro day is Monday. So it'll be interesting to see what he runs. Because he broke his leg during the season. And, for the most part, when it comes to college football, the spring games are slowly coming around. USC spring game is 420. So our spring games that are going to be going down. Apparently they've gained almost like 1,000 pounds of muscle collectively as a team. They put all the numbers out and shit a couple days ago. So they're getting stronger and ready for the Big Ten. Jonah Monheim got moved to center. Because that's honestly probably where he's going to play in the NFL. Guard or center. Ronnie James transferred. He's leaving USC. Ohio State, Texas. A couple other schools were on his list. Me personally, I think he should just take his ass to CSUN and just become a king in the valley. No one will question him. He'll be able to play. He can start right away because that's LeBron James' son. What are you going to do, not start at CSUN? But no, he'll probably go to Ohio State, not get any play time, transfer again. Then he'll have to go to like Long Beach State or fucking Fullerton or Cal State Northridge and ball out where he probably should have went in the first place because honestly, can't shoot and he can defend, but there's nothing really spectacular about his game. And he had a fucking heart attack, so it's like been better off staying at SC, even though they lost their head coach. But hey, at least they got Juju Watkins. Different college football.
All right, touchdown and turnover. Jags signed Oluokun to a 3-year extension for $45 million. Touchdown or turnover.
Touchdown. Sorry, he's been leading the league in tackles like the past couple of years. Ever since he left the Falcons, he's been putting up ungodly tackle numbers. And people forget he's also insanely fast. He ran like a 4.3 in his pro day. A 4.4. Just makes plays all over the field.
All right. Finns extend Mostert to a 2-year deal for $9 million. Touchdown or turnover.
That's a touchdown. He keep the run game together. Him and A-Chain got something good going. And since he hasn't had a lot of tread on his tires, it's kind of good to see him get his just due, especially after being stuck on the Niners and everything. So good for him. Good for the Dolphins.
I agree with that. Why not? Gives you some insurance in case A-Chain gets hurt again. Eagles send Reddick to the Jets. Touchdown or turnover.
It was a touchdown. You already have Bryson Huff, Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith. You got to get Reddick out of there. They reworked Josh Sweat's contract, so he stayed put. Reddick to the Jets is really interesting. Makes that defense even better. You got him. You got Jermaine Johnson. I think Carl Larson's gone. But they got a ferocious D-line. The defense looks even better with Hassan Reddick on it. So, salute to him. And I think they're going to pay him, too.
All right. Carson Wentz is now the backup for Patrick Mahomes.
Good for him. Might be the career revamp he needed. And hell, if you can be a backup quarterback for 10 years, why not?
Agree with that. The Wentz Eagles connection and Reed's Eagles connection. Probably just like talking about places to eat in Philly and shit. Also from the Chiefs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's returning on a 1-year deal. Touchdown or turnover.
Touchdown. Good for team morale. He was getting a nursing degree. I mean, yeah, technically he's a bust because he was a first-round pick and he never really materialized. But some guys are glue guys. It's good for the team to have him around.
That's pretty much what he called himself at the Super Bowl. So, yep, agree. The Eagles are bringing back Maddox, blankenship on a 1-year deal, touchdown or turnover.
Say touchdown to both. Vontae Maddox is a really good corner. Reed Blankenship, he held it down at safety with all the injuries. And he's made some plays. He's earned a spot. I remember interviewing him the NFLPA game. So it's good to see him making it.
All right, take your tangent. Flying through. All right, first one. Oakland A's recorded abysmal crowd of 3,000 against the Guardians. Potentially could be getting demoted to a AAA stadium. Talking to Salt Lake. They're talking to Sacramento.
Supposed to be going to Sacramento to play there.
Officially?
Yeah. That ownership group is fucking terrible. Just sell the team already, bro.
Yeah,
Sell
so
to
I was
Vegas.
reading this whole thing on TikTok, and basically So, like, their best player from last year, who was an all-star, like their only all-star, he's basically been demoted to minor leagues. And then they're, like, one of their key prospects who was promoted this year, he hit, like, really well the first 2 games, and then they pretty much benched him. So with all that, both those players were pretty much benched for wearing sell the team merch. That's at least what the TikToker alleged. Which again just shows how petty they are. Overall, I think they just didn't want to make the contingencies to the city of Oakland. Some of the things Oakland was asking for included the colors, branding of the A's when the team relocates. They also wanted to get assurances from the MLB that they would be first in line for an expansion team. They also wanted the A's to sell their half of the Coliseum site, and they also wanted the A's to help pay to convert the current Coliseum into a soccer stadium for the Soul and Roots. But yeah, I guess all that falls through now with them moving to Sacramento. They're supposed to play in Sacramento until 2027, when they will make the leap to Las Vegas.
Trash organization, trash choices, trash leadership in the city of Oakland. Just trash all the way around. Like, I feel bad for Oakland. Lost 3 sports teams. Some parts of Oakland look like a third world country. It's like a fucking nuke went off and hit it. There's shit all over the ground. The politicians don't do anything to fix it. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Like, they closed down that In-N-Out for good. Because people kept getting robbed and their cars are getting broken into and shit. Like, how do you... In-N-Out doesn't shut down restaurants. They just don't do that. And now you got the A's playing in Sacramento. I think it's only like a 13,000 seat stadium now. Like, it's grossly smaller. So it won't look as bad when nobody shows up. Because it's Sacramento. Sacramento's not a sports town. I hate to break that to y'all. Just because the Kings are good, trust me, it's not a sports town. Like, if you go far back, Sacramento wasn't shit for like decades. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's the thing. Like, no, it's pretty much just West Coast. It's pretty much just California's version of Portland, but a shitty version. It's not even a good version of another state. It's Sacramento.
Yeah, and yeah, I'd say it's more like Austin, but yeah, it's not as liberal as Portland. But yeah. All right, fair fade. Or no, I'm sorry, I got one more. The Cowboys are eyeballing a Zeke reunion. Take your tangent, Kenny.
How soon we forget. Smith is gone. They're probably going to take a tackle. I wouldn't even bring Zeke back. There's no point. Dak Prescott's playing on a contract. He's not getting a new one until the end of the season. Shit, he might be out of there. Why bring Zeke back for 1 year? What's the point? It's a slap in the face to him, and it's a slap in the face to whatever running back they could draft. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't really think it makes any sense either. Again, like I said last week, I think at this point Zeke should just not play. The league doesn't deserve him. Just ride off into the sunset.
If he signs with the Ravens, are you going to be pissed?
Doesn't make sense. Henry's already there. All right. The Cardinals, they lost a lawsuit and they have to pay their former exec $3 million. Take or tangent.
The Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Like, plus with the whole Steve Keim situation, that was kind of messy. So, not even surprised.
Yeah, the ex-VP for defamation. With malice. Yeah. In that multi-page accused. Yeah, they accused him of spousal abuse and neglect of his disabled daughter. He's the first ever executive to win against an NFL owner.
I know he had like a DUI or drunk driving situation. I think they use that against him too.
All right. Fair or fade. Emmanuel Acho gets dragged collectively on the internet for hazardous, disrespectful comments towards Angel Reese.
Yeah, the piece of shit, fake intellectual Nigerian grifter known as Emmanuel Acho with his fake contrived social media posts. And it's just bullshit rhetoric. Like, he literally is like the black male Candace Owens, and it's gross. The shit that he says is stupid. His takes are never good. He wasn't even that good at Texas as a linebacker. I don't know how the fuck he became an All-American. I think the Big 12 didn't play defense for like 10 fucking years. And I guess because Texas just happened to be in the national title game, they said, well, somebody has to fucking, I guess we'll just give out an All-American spot to this bum. The more I hear him talk, the more I'm almost ashamed that like share the same skin tone. He pretty much said that Angel Reese got what she deserved, and you can't sit up here and be the villain and then start crying and looking for sympathy after a loss. And it's like somebody created AI porn of Angel Reese. Somebody said she was stupid and was failing her classes. And she said during her Vogue shoot that and video that she left LSU with her college degree. She's technically like a fourth year junior. She could have came back for another year. And Joy Taylor made a great point, even though she pretty much started blaming men, said it's men's fault, and I'm like, I get you, like. It could just like be on code and not kick men's back in because you have an issue with men. Like it doesn't always have to be a gender issue. Like when it comes to this, because black men and black women and black journalists, everybody honestly has just been kicking his bum ass back in for those stupid ass statements that he made. And like I don't know anybody who considers him a legitimate journalist or a legitimate analyst. He's just not good. And he's fake. Marcellus Wiley already called him out for being fake. So, him and his fucking buck dancing brother, Sam Acho, that big ass gap in his teeth. How you got all that money? Talking about pretty much like, oh, we making all this money in our village in Nigeria. Okay. Well, if you're doing so great in Nigeria, take your ass back. You always got something to say about American black athletes, and it's usually never good. It's usually, there's no facts behind it. It's just some shit that makes racist white people smile when they watch him talk. And it's gross, and I'm glad people are kicking his back in because he's a little bitch. And I would tell him to his face. I'm tired. Like, I'm glad I don't see his tweets anymore or anything regarding him on the internet because it was highly disrespectful what he said. Caitlyn Clark has been doing weird shit all season. She tripped that one fan, elbowed her in the face, flopped, was cussing at people, and nobody called her a villain. They made LSU villains because they didn't like Kim Mulkey and they didn't like a bunch of young, unapologetic black females telling you they were going to beat your ass and then going to beat your ass and then winning a national title. So it's like, it's really not fair. The treatment that Angel Reese got, she's like, I'm going to just be the villain. And it's like, as Joy Taylor said, well, who made you the villain? Because it seems like when you're a black athlete, you have to like bow your head and buck and like be quiet and not say anything that might piss off all the white people that work underneath you or above you. And I just think that's really weird and it's really foul. And Manuel Acho's comments were completely insensitive because people were sending Angel Reese death threats, trying to dox her and shit. Again, if somebody goes out of the way to make AI porn about you, and like you got a family, and she's only 21, like how temperamental were you at 21, Pete?
Real temperamental.
So the fact that people are just kicking her back in, mainly Acho's bitch ass, I'm just glad he got what he deserved, and he's not a journalist I would ever respect. I don't even consider him a journalist. He's just a talking head who played on one of the worst teams to ever make a national title game, the Texas Longhorns. And everybody's like, oh, well, if Colt McCoy didn't get hurt, they would have won. Boy, Marcel Darius was dog walking that Texas offensive line by himself. Go back and really watch that game. Alabama was beating the dog shit out of Texas. Nick Saban called off the dogs, and Texas came back late. But let's not sit up here and act like, with revisionist history, that those Texas teams were so great. No, they just didn't play anybody. The Big 12 was ass. So, the Acho brothers are trash. They be cooning, and it's just gross. And they act real. They're smart to dumb motherfuckers. That's what the Acho brothers are. They're smart to dumb people or people who don't know any better. Everybody else sees them for what they are, and I'm glad they're getting their backs kicked in, and I hope it continues. So fuck the Acho brothers.
All right. Drake's too scared to shoot back at Kendrick Lamar. He instead keeps making sub IG posts and goes at Travis.
Yeah. Drake's scared of Kendrick. Drake is scared of Kendrick Lamar. And truth be told, like Drake knows he can't really rap on the level of a Kendrick or J. Cole when they're really rapping. When it's not just some, I'm almost a 40-year-old man who likes to. I'm pretty sure he's dating Ice Spice's cousin, who's like 21 or some shit. Like he's out here fucking on 20-year-olds, teenagers who are like 18, 19. Like, dog, you almost 40. Wearing those stupid-ass barrettes in your hair. This motherfucker was wearing, like, a jumpsuit at his concert. He was looking like a character from The Puzzle Place. Go back and look at that show from the 90s. His whole outfit looked like the fucking aesthetic to the intro to the show A Puzzle Place. And he won't rap. Like, with Future, Metro Boomin, 21 Savage, technically, Kendrick, like when all these rappers, Rick Ross, when all the Future, all these rappers and this producer, this mega producer, arguably the best producer of our era, Metro Boomin. There's not many people on his level. I mean, Mostert's kind of up there. He sold his catalog though, but like Metro Boomin is like the standard. If we're really being honest,
Hit Boy.
Yeah, still Metro Boomin. Think about like I want you to think about the Spider-Man soundtrack. I want you to think about.
Yeah, no one cared about that except for you.
That shit was fire. You fucking smoke. You tripping. That sound. The second movie, the soundtrack was even better the second time around.
Yeah, no,
that shit was fire. That's. But too afraid to rap, and I'm just glad everybody's like really tired of Drake's shit. It's like, bro. I'm not saying you're approaching Diddy territory, but like, remember Max McClung? Like, he would just attach himself to young people, and it would be really weird. And he would just take their clout. And now, like, when motherfuckers are calling you out by name, Kendrick called this man out by name on like 3 different occasions. Hell, Pusha T won the beef, and this is proof. Also, I got one more that's music related. Be sad. Chad Hugo pretty much suing Pharrell for ownership of the Neptune's name because he said Pharrell did some hoe shit and pretty much secured the name for himself, but didn't put Chad Hugo on the paperwork.
Yeah, Pharrell trying to pull a Jay-Z, which is crazy.
How you gonna do? Come on. I love Pharrell, but let's not act like you didn't do the Neptunes by yourself, bro.
That's why it's the Neptunes.
Not the Neptune.
Not Pharrell.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you did grind.
There's Pharrell, there's the Neptunes, and there's fucking NERD.
Exactly. That's a crazy run of music. Because NERD got some slappers.
You don't know about NERD, sir.
Sir, I just told you they got slappers. Don't play in my face like that.
But yeah, that shit makes me sad too. And that's low-key a fade.
Everything I've said so far has been a fade. Like, they gotta squash that shit.
Caleb Williams is getting his back kicked in for having painted nails.
That's funny.
Fade.
It's a fade. Yo, are y'all trying to insinuate he's gay? Are y'all mad at him? I've never seen a top prospect get their back kicked in for being too much of something. Like, okay, he's 6'1", 6'2". He's 6'1". Me and him are about the same height. I might be taller than him. Great player. Great person. Gave a lot of money back. I say he held down being the quarterback at USC very well. All the NIL deals, the money, showing he can lead a team, lead men. Like, people really need to just get off his head. Like, and so what if he paints his fucking nails? Who cares? Like, I thought we were past that point. Like, can we be real? Can we be real for a second? All these people who are kicking in his back about painting his nails were all Dennis Rodman fans in the 90s. So y'all can get the fuck out my face. Because it's mostly these boomers and these older people shitting on him.
They were also shitting on McCain from Duke for a similar thing.
The basketball player? Yeah, but he got an NIL deal because of that shit. Yeah. So it's like, why are you hating on these young kids? Like, damn, I ain't never seen so much hate. It's like, bro, it's bad enough they'll never be able to afford a house. They got to get famous doing something. They got to get a bag doing something. This shit is looking dreadful out here. You all over here mad because a dude painted his fucking nails saying fuck UCLA, and he painted his nails against Utah. I mean, so? If Mike Tyson painted the nails, what y'all gonna do? Sit there and shut your ass up. That's what you gonna do. That's what I'm saying. Like, if athletes were allowed to just punch a couple people in the face once or twice a year and get away with it, like, certain people in the media wouldn't be having such slick shit to say. Because I'm like, I watched the dude play for 3 years. I don't care if he walks around with dead president's face paint. Okay? Like Lorenz Tate. I wouldn't give a shit. Dude can play. And he's a great representation of leadership for the youth. And, like, people just, like, really need to get off Gen Z's nuts, because I'm kind of tired of seeing it. It's like, y'all doing to Gen Z's what you did to millennials. You're trying to kill their dreams before it ever gets started. And that's lame, because we know a lot of millennials who didn't recover from that kind of criticism. There's athletes that we know growing up watching where if they were in this time period, they would actually get their flowers, a la Reggie Bush. Whereas guys from the past got demonized for just being who they are or not kissing the right person's ass. So, yeah, y'all really need to get off that shit. Leave Caleb alone. Leave all these Gen Z kids alone because they're sick of your shit.
Yeah, I just don't think it really matters, to your point. Like, these dudes getting money, they're trying to ascend to the top of their crafts. Like, focus on whatever you're doing, old, angry sports media personality or IG scroller. Like, focus on what you got going All right, so the Chiefs were trying to get a new stadium that was basically killed yesterday. Now their future in Kansas City is up in the air. Jerry Jones thinks they should move. So, fair or fade, the Chiefs moving from Kansas City.
It's a fade. The Hunt family is worth so much money they could easily just pay for the shit themselves. And after that shooting at the Super Bowl parade, like, bro, you owe it to the fans to just square that shit away. Like, just do it. Don't be a dick. Like, don't pull a St. Louis Rams. Just don't do that. But if they did move to St. Louis, the St. Louis Chiefs, that would actually be hilarious. And they keep the colors, that shit would actually be hilarious. But yeah, the mayor of Dallas was like, we don't have a football team. Because technically the Cowboys play in Arlington. Dallas is like, come out here. Shit, we'll take you. Houston got a football team. Arlington got a football team. Imagine the Chiefs in Texas. That's actually where they're originally from, apparently. The Chiefs. So that would be really interesting to see if they end up in Texas. Or send them to Oakland. That would be hilarious.
That'd be disgusting. But yeah,
The Oakland
I
Chiefs.
just feel bad because that area already like low key got robbed of the Rams, and like St. Louis has gotten robbed of teams like historically over time. Kansas City has too, actually. So it would just be another in a long line of history, just having teams taken away.
But nah, just imagine if they moved to Oakland
I'd be like, if y'all
and they
gonna
became
leave,
a dome team.
if y'all gonna leave, you definitely gotta leave those trophies behind for the city.
The colors, though.
You should, but they won't. But you should.
I feel like you can't because they're actually great uniforms. I'm just saying, what if the Chiefs, the NFL's like, hey, move to Oakland?
All right, and then this one is you, CM Punk's interview on the AEW. Fair fade.
Yeah, he pretty much called out the situation, how AEW just had a bunch of fucking children running around pretending to be grown-ups and not handling things right. He said, Tony, you can handle this. Handle this, because if I have to handle it, you're not going to like how I handle it. And honestly, Jack Perry, he's still pretty much exiled from AEW. And Tony Khan he's definitely on Tony Khan's shit list after all the stupid shit he pulled. And I like where the direction WWE's going, where CM Punk is like, well, fuck it. I'm going to just say whatever I want. And honestly, the crazy part is AEW spent like fucking 10 minutes talking about how great AEW is. And it's like, bro, like, y'all need real adults there because that's not how you run a wrestling company. WWE's out here just casually saying, or wrestlers are casually saying shit about AEW. And instead of you just saying we thank them for what they did while they were here and we're on a different path, we're doing things differently. Instead of you doing that, like, you just come out defending yourself. Now you look even weaker. And let's be honest, Tony Khan is a money mark. He has his dad's money. And that's what he's using to fund AEW. They are not pulling in a profit. They are not selling out these house shows. Because instead of them selling out smaller arenas or halls, they're trying to fucking sell out, stadiums or basketball situations. And it's like, if you just had a smaller house, you would sell that out. But instead, you insist upon just making bad business choices. And you lost CM Punk, the biggest draw in your company, because of that. So you're stupid. And that's pretty much the whole CM Punk situation. He interviewed with Ari. It's crazy because now like Ronda Rousey's coming out talking more, and she was like Drew Gulak inappropriately touched my drawstring. Um, yeah, like apparently he like was walking by her, and then she went to shake her hand, and like he literally pulled her drawstring open on her shorts, and then he immediately came out and clarified his statement and said he actually apologized right after it happened. There was no malice on his part. He wasn't trying to sexually assault her or anything like that. It was just like I bumped into her. It was an accident. Ronda Rousey's now talking about WWE and how shitty of a place it is, and how people get treated there, and how bad Vince McMahon is. But then she also said some dumb shit. She said she thinks she's the greatest fighter of all time. She said her mouthpiece or whatever was too fucking small against Holly Holmes. Bitch, Holly Holmes knocked your face in. She exposed you. And then you got exposed by Amanda Nunes. Who retired like a double champ. Like, a Brazilian got you the fuck out of here, and a former boxer who became an MMA fighter got you the fuck out of here. Most overrated UFC fighter in combat sports history, Ronda Rousey. When she got some real competition, she got her ass whooped. That's all I'm saying. And she ain't even got hands like that because she got her shit mixed. She got put in a fucking blender. She got beat so bad she went to WWE to fix her image. And everybody forgets that. She got her ass whooped. And she got stomped out of MMA. So yeah. That's pretty much it on the wrestling front.
All right, well, that's pretty much it for us today. Yeah, man, so I'll just go ahead and start with my rant. I'll just say this, man. Like, I feel like last week I talked about Easter, just kind of like a rebirth. And since then, I've just been kind of like diving into my finances, like really just kind of like trying to eat better, trying to not eat all the candy that's around the house for no reason. But, I mean, it's always a challenge. It doesn't matter. Just because the calendar changes doesn't make things less challenging. But I think when you change your mindset and you kind of taper off the things that don't matter and focus on the things that do, mainly yourself and the people you care about, like it's kind of freeing. And I think that's the point that I'm trying to get to. And I feel like I'm finally making progress to get in there. And excited to hang out with my cousin this weekend, and I'm gonna try to go to a couple games next week. Got a budget Clipper game on the docket. Got a budget Angel game on the docket. I mean, the reality is, I'd rather go see the Dodgers or the Padres, but the Angels are like literally a tenth of the price. Like literally a tenth. And they got better food and better parking and shit. With the Clippers too, it's like I want to go watch them see a better team, but hey, seeing them for the Jazz and sitting 100 level for $50, like you can't really beat that. I don't know if Harden and Kawhi and Paul George are all going to play. I hope they do because I haven't seen them this year. But also just kind of excited to have a farewell with the crypto. Over 120 games at Staples Center. And this one or the playoff game, assuming the Clippers get in, those might be my last games ever. So it's just crazy to think about. It's like low-key where my career got started. Low-key where I had some of the best dates in my life. Like low-key where like I had some of the best memories in my life. My 20s for sure. So, yeah. Full circle moment. That's it for me. Raiders still don't have a quarterback.
They don't, but Michael Penix came on a visit, so fingers crossed at 13.
Great. So now the Broncos will take him. Just because.
Or J.J. McCarthy. It's shit's crazy right now. Yeah, mostly just trying to. This week, it's been kind of a trying week, but here over this cold and my dry ass sneezing, because man, that hurts. I'll just say, cherish the time you got with your family. Because a lot of them leaving one day is like...
Even if they're annoying as shit and threaten to whoop your ass or stab you half the day?
It's like certain shit. Like,
not that was a sub-mention of anyone who may or may not be listening to this podcast.
Yeah, it's like some shit just doesn't matter. It's like, I don't know, I've done like a lot of introspection this past week. Just thankful for my family. Like, nothing's perfect. No, but like this. Every parent would like to hope they could be parent of the year. But it's just not realistic. They do what they can. And in time, if you allow yourself to put yourself in the shoes of your parents when they were your age, you start to kind of understand them a little bit better. Start to kind of understand your vices, your tics, why you do certain things that you do. So, yeah, I'm just thankful for family. Just trying to heal up and get past this head cold. And my fucking allergies are on fire. It's a hellscape. But, yeah, thankful for all the good things coming my way. I don't know when it's coming or where, but I feel like it's around the corner, I guess. I don't know. That's it for me.
All right, well, this is Touchdowns and Tangents. You can catch us everywhere you get great podcast content. TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. Touchdownsandtangents.com. Shout out to everyone who fucks with us. We are out. Peace.
Peace. Can't wait to get my haircut Friday.